So I'm making mayonnaise using my hand mixer. And so I'm going to be using egg yolks because I like my mayo thick. But when you start putting egg whites in it, then it thins it out a bit. So I'm separating the egg white from the egg yolk. So I usually do half of this, but because I have to use some of the mayo tonight, I have to double it. 2 teaspoons of mustard, 1 teaspoon of pink salt, Himalayan salt, just like I said, I usually do half of this recipe because it's just me and my husband. 2 tablespoons of lemons. I usually get a whole bag of lemons and put them in 1 tablespoon servings in an ice tray and freeze them. And then I can have them whenever I want to cook with them. So here's my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I need 2 cups of oil, so I'm going to use avocado oil. You can use grapeseed oil. Olive oil is going to be a bit strong because it has such a distinctive taste. So you need more of a neutral oil. I put a wet cloth underneath so that when I'm using the blender, it doesn't go all over the place, the bowl. I've tried the immersion blender. My mayo never comes out right. I've tried a blender, but the blender is too much cleanup with the blender. And so I find that when I use my hand mixer, it just comes out perfect. And I don't have to clean mayo out of a blade. So I do like that. So I watched this woman. The first thing she did was, let me push this over a little bit so you can see. She started her blender on high. And she drizzled it in little by little. Because you want it to emulsify. If you put too much in at one time, you're just going to have a liquid mess. So now I'm going to, you can see if you really look at it, it has thickened up some. So now I'm going to just drizzle it in there. Then she would pause from time to time and just stir it in there really good. And you can see how it's really thickening up. You see how it's really kind of getting pudding-like consistency? Just make sure you kind of drizzle it in there. You put too much and it'll mess up the how it emulsifies and you'll have a mess. Trust me, I've tried that after a while of it getting thick. I was like, oh, I'll just pour more in there and I had a mess. I wasted so much oil doing that. Eggs, salt. Well, it's just a waste of my money. So I drizzle it all the way through. And I stop every once in a while and stir it all in there. I don't know why. That's just what I saw her do. And just like I said, it comes out perfect every time. See, it doesn't even take long. And it only took me longer because I'm doubling the batch. I have more oil. And look at that. So look at what my cleanup is. Like on the blades that I use to do the mayo. So I normally just take my fingers and just take what's on the hand mixer. What? Can't even think of what you call it, but this thing. And I just pull off. Hey, I'm cheap. I want every drop of mayo that's on here. I don't like wasting stuff. This is enough that I could have spread on a sandwich. I'm not throwing it away. Now, when you put it in like a blender, it's hard to clean all of that mayo off of the petals and stuff. And I just felt like I was just wasting mayo. Here is my lemon juice. And I just pour it in there. And it turns it white. It turns the mayo white once you see how the color is changing. You see? Now, again, if you don't want your mayo this thick, then use 1 egg yolk and 1 whole egg, and it'll make it thinner. But me and my husband both love the thickness of it. So this is how we have our mayo. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Homemade mayo. And I mean, I don't have a container right with me, but when you look at the back of the mayo, see what's on it. What do we have on in here? We have oil, we have eggs, we have salt, we have mustard, and some people put dry mustard in it. I just like the stone ground mustard, spicy brown mustard rather, and lemon juice. That is it. And I know when I've read certain, how long do you store the mayo? Me and Paul has had this mayo in the refrigerator for so long, and it's done well. Use your own discretion, but trust me, it lasts more than a month in the refrigerator. It has the lemon juice in there to preserve it, and so it has that mustard. So anyway, this mayo tastes great. We love it. Once I started making mayonnaise, I don't buy mayonnaise unless I have to do something large for a group of people because it is pricey. Getting your avocado oil is not cheap. Grapeseed oil is a bit cheaper. But I like the fact that I know what's in my foods. That's what I like so much about doing this. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Got any comments? Please leave them at the bottom. Because again, I'm not a pro. I'm always learning. And maybe you out there can teach me something different about some of the ingredients that you put in the mayo or your techniques in making mayonnaise. So have a great day. Thanks so much for listening.